Hey, what's going on, guys? Defy Shadows here. Got another Mass Effect Andromeda video. Today is going to be kind of a tips and tricks with the focus of movement. So you've obviously got your basic movement abilities, evade and jump. But then you also need to take into account powers and abilities that let you move. So I'm going to focus on charge and tactical cloak today. So we can charge. You guys are going to have to forgive my piss poor aim in this video. I was gonna redo it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just focusing on movement, so my aim really doesn't matter for the sake of this. Anyway, now that that's out of the way, so charge gets you in close to your target, right? So you can set them up, Nova Charge or Charge Shockwave, whatever you want to use. You can set them up, which is great. You can also move around the battlefield easily with charge, and you can move into cover. So one thing I like to do, like you'll see in a second here, is so I get the shield down on this observer if it wants to cooperate, and then so I'll charge in. I know I can finish it off because we're gonna get a combo detonation there. Nova, just for good measure. I think it died before the Nova, and now I'm in cover, right? So I got the quick kill, and now I'm in cover, and now I'm gonna use tactical cloak to go for the flank over here. And then, jump and aim hover, so I can get my charge off nice and easy. And then I'm right back to cover again. So that's kind of how I like to play with movement abilities like that. Now, not every build has to have charge or tactical cloak, just so you can move around. I mean, but movement is very important. Moving cover to cover, moving flanks. Using your teammates to draw aggro one way, and then flanking around a rock the other way. All very important, and it will keep you alive. And then we'll go over some movement abilities or movements you can sort of chain together if there's little to no cover, because there are quite a few just random battles in this game that have little to no cover. So obviously you've got your basic stuff, just like evade to the side, and then your jump up, and then there's a few combinations of both that are pretty easy to do, right? You can evade to the side and then jump. You can jump in the air and then evade back, forward, left, right, wherever you need to go. And then there's an easy 3-step combo where you evade, jump, and evade, and you can actually cover quite a bit of ground, or you can just confuse something by going past it, above it, over it, or you can go back up, back over cover if there's cover like pretty far behind you. So very effective. Especially, I use it a lot against the big targets that can melee me and one-shot me on Insanity difficulty. Just because, back up, back is pretty quick. The fastest one I've noticed is the Biotic, and then you can chain it together for a 5-step combo, which I'm showing right here. And then you can also chain just the evade and jump together pretty much endlessly if you get the timing right, which is a little tricky, and then just evade, jump, evade, jump, evade, jump. And the reason it's important is because basically, normally when you evade or jump, you do a little stumble or you have to land to absorb the shock. And this is basically just a technique to not have to do that. And it keeps your movement a little more fluid. Now, I obviously don't do this when I'm just exploring, because it's faster to just run everywhere. But during battle, changing elevation and changing directions quickly to get you to the next cover, or just while your abilities are on cooldown, is super important, and it'll help keep you alive a little bit longer, which is important in a lot of fights, especially if you're playing abilities like charge. You're often out in the middle of enemies, often away from easily accessible cover, so you kind of want to move around and dodge, duck, and dive, as they say. Now every dodge has its own timing for this. So for me, the Infiltrator Cloak Evade is the easiest timing. The hardest for me is the Blink, and it's hard to do the endless evade and then evade jump, but you can go through walls with the Blink evade, so I mean, honestly, who cares? It's still awesome. And then last but not least, we have just the regular old booster, regular jump jet. This one's actually the second hardest for me for some reason to get the combos down. I don't know why. But yeah, so that's just basic tips on movement. Decided to make this video because one of my friends said he didn't know what I was talking about when I was trying to explain it, and this is way easier to explain, so with a video. But that's gonna do it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.